Okay, so welcome back to another video. As you may see, the shed got a bit of a reshuffle. Just a couple of pens got a little bit of a switch around, but that's what I'm going to go through in today's video. Now you may have remembered, if you watched my previous videos about this gate falling down, there was a gate hanging up here, and then we had the two cows that were to calf in here, and then we had a cow and a calf in here. The gate is currently still outside because we haven't fixed the lug at the bottom, but we don't need it at this very moment in time because obviously we got a big reshufflement here. So first things first, where's the two cows that have yet to calf? They're out in the two pens there. There's one in there and there's one just there, as you can see. That one cow that was in here with the calf, the cow that had the mastitis and only 2 working quarters in her udders, we moved her into the lot here. That's her there. And the gate that was here that was about to fall, we have that taken down because those 4 were in here. There was a gate basically just going down that way, separating them, but we have taken that gate down because there was an owl hanger that we had clipped to the barrier over there. That was broke. Actually, you can kind of see it just there. That's the barrier I'm on about that's broke, but that was broke. The gate that was here was falling down, so we had a load of poles and stuff going across to hold it up, because it was, if we didn't do that, it would have fell. But that gate is now taken down and we have it put away, and that gives the 6 cows here that have calved, they have all that room now. And her calf, when she was in there on her own, her calf now can access the little calf creep. I think that's the calf there. But he or she now, she's the only heifer we have, but she can access the calf creep now, and she can take the calf crunch out of the trough as well, along with the others. Now, that little mesh there hanging on the gate is where we used to give them silage, the calves, but we're not doing that anymore because obviously they have plenty of room here to take any silage off the ground. So we're not wheelbarrowing silage over to the calf creep. We're now only giving them calf crunch. Obviously the heifer here isn't really on the calf crunch yet because obviously she was isolated on her own with her mother, so eventually she will get to the calf crunch, and she will be among the other calves in there. And it's that little yoke there that I was on about that we were giving silage to the calves in. We're not giving them silage in that anymore because they can obviously eat it from the ground now. So that is an obstacle out of the way. That little bit of barrier that was sticking out is no longer there. And because there's no gate blocking these, they have a drinker there, so we don't need a blue barrel there anymore, because last year's heifers have their drinker there. They now have access to a drinker. They have access to 3 drinkers now. There's 2 on that girder there, and then there's another one over the far side over there. And we're still filling water for them with the tap just on the edge of the wall there. We also extended this gate a bit. This gate was, I think, further up the wards. I think it was on this barrier here. I think it was on that barrier. But we just moved it down to give them extra room. They still have plenty of room. We could even move the gate down more if we wanted to, but I think they have plenty of room anyways. The heifers are still there. They haven't been moved, so they're still where they always were. So even with the size of our slatted house, I mentioned the size of our slatted house in a video of mine. I think it was called the layout of our slatted house or something. It is relatively big, but yet we're still low on room, that we still have to do a lot of shuffling around now and then, because we might just, obviously when there was cows with no calves and they were still yet to calf, we couldn't have a load of cows in here that are ready to calf and then one cow that have calved we couldn't just have that one cow and calf among the rest of the cows that were yet to calf, because the other cows probably wouldn't take too friendly to the calf. So obviously we still only have two calving pens, but we did have to make a makeshift one out of these. We basically put one of them going across this way, one going that way, and then another one going across at the back, and we had a cow in that. But it's not really the best sort of way to do it that way with a makeshift pen. You're better off with your own sort of calving pens, but we're still sort of we still only have two pens for like calving and stuff like that. So we could do it a bit more, but we're making do with the two we have. So now when we're putting in a bale, we don't have that blue barrel in the way, and we don't have that bar sticking out 3 foot in the way. So we can easily drive back the tractor, split the bale in half, split it then in quarters without trying to move around or maneuver around a blue barrel full of water there and a pole sticking out there. We also have a system for the calves when the weather sort of dries up, so maybe next week or in the next 2 weeks, a fortnight. We have an out system where they can sort of go outside and get used to being outside before we actually put them in the field, so that, you know, they won't be as mad and giddy when we do let them out on grass, because they would have been outside in the fresh air for a couple of weeks before we do let them out on grass. And I'll show you that system now. Well, I'll have to explain it first, because we don't have it up yet, but we are going to put it up as soon as possible. And when we do put it up and have it up, I will show you it through explanation and through like visual, through the camera as well, so you can actually see what I'm talking about as well. But for now, I'll just have to try my best to explain it to you. Again, we just use a load of these yokes, so we'll call them the aluminium construction fences for the sake of it. So we would set up an aluminium construction fence going out this way. We might even put two down, and then we might put two going across, and then obviously going back to the edge of the gate there. So it would start here, it would go out there, go across this way, and then go in this way to the edge of this gate here. We would have some sort of barrel or drinker like this left outside, sort of somewhere there, because the hose is just around the corner there, and we'd fill water up for them. But also on the aluminium construction fences, we'll have one line of electric tape going the whole way across, just to get them used to the electric tape. So when they come out, they'll see it, they'll explore it, they'll start sniffing it, they might touch it a few times. Obviously they'll get the shock, and obviously that's not pleasant. And this gate will be open, so they can easily run from outside, inside and all that. And then in the evening times, we will hunt them all inside, back into their little calf creep there. We'll close the gate, and then the next morning, if it's dry, we will open the gate and let them roam outside for the day until evening comes, and then we'll put them back in. But the electric fence going around, we only use that electric tape just for them to get used of it. So when they get let out onto grass, they'll see it and they'll go, no, I'm not touching that anymore. I remember what it felt like. It was unpleasant. So hopefully then they know what the tape is when they see it. They know what it'll look like. And then when they're rung like hell around the field, they'll hopefully see the tape and then come to a sudden stop, and then they'll be contained in the field, if you know what I mean. Obviously you mightn't understand when I'm explaining it, because I wouldn't be the best at explaining, but once we have it built up outside, I will show you it. I'll take a few clips of the calves touching the fence as well, just to show you the whole sort of procedure of how we get the calves ready for outdoors and grass. Some people might say it's animal cruelty, but like when you use an electric tape or electric fence out in the field, the cattle are still going to touch it. So like we're just getting the calves used to the electric tape so that they don't bust out of a field and maybe onto a road and then get killed. So that's why we use the electric fence and electric tape to contain them in the field. For those who may not have any farming background that might be interested in farming and might be watching this video, I don't know. But that's why we do it here on our farm. And there's the calf right there in the calf pen with the whole lot of them. And we also are our first time using the electronic tags. Those are the yellow ones. Not the yellow ones, the white ones. It's a new rule now that you have to have an electronic tag in a calf that was born after July 1st of 2021, I believe. It's something like that. But you have to have an electric tag in your calf's ear from now on, and that's the little white ones. And I know this video has been sort of going back and forth and changing subject very rapidly and stuff, but this is what we were using to hang the gate up there to separate the cattle from those four that are over there. You can obviously see that the bottom here is broke, which is not the best. It's also broke there. And those are the clips. So we basically just hung that off the barrier. We got a clip around the top there and then a clip around there, and it would stick out like this. Well, basically like that actually. You have your two clips there. It would stick out and then you'd hang your gate on. Obviously this one is better because it doesn't stick out as much and it's box iron and it's just stronger. While this, you can obviously see that it sticks out quite a lot, and then obviously the weight of the gate probably snaps this or the cattle leaning up against it. So obviously that system is not as good as this one here. This one is way better. But anyways, yes, once the weather dries up and we have this little makeshift pen outside for the calves to get them used to being outside, I will show you what it looks like, and then I'll explain how it works and all that. But it's basically just to get the calves used to being outside, get all their sort of giddiness out of them before we do let them out on grass, and to get them used to an electric tape. So when they see it in a field, they won't bother with it. So now I guess before the video ends, just a little recap on the reshufflement of the cattle shed, because this is what this video was mainly about, but then I obviously started rambling about other stuff as well. So the two cows that were in here that were due to calf, we have them out in the two pens there. The cow and calf that were in here on their own are now in with these. That's them there, that's the calf and that's the mother. Basically those two there who were curtailed in this little corner here. Those four were in here. There was an old gate hanging up here. So those four were in here, separated with a gate, and then them cows then were obviously still there, but they just had less room. They have more room now. Over here, we just widened this gate by one sort of 10. This gate was there. We just widened it a small bit to give the bulls some extra room. And last year's heifers haven't been moved. So that's basically it. And this whole reshufflement was mainly, I'm not saying that we wouldn't have done this at a later date, but this was mainly because of the gate that was hanging on that steel tin right there fell, and the cow and calf there was mixing with the two cows here that were yet to calf. So that's why, one of the main reasons why we done the reshufflement, but also that this cow's calf then, which is her over there, will hopefully mix with the calves. Hopefully all their fighting will be gone out of their system. She'll obviously have access to the calf crunch, and then when we make up the makeshift pen outside, she'll be with them to get used to outside, rather than be stuck in the corner here. But that is today's video, and that's going to be the end of it. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please do give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification then to be notified of every future video I upload. And yeah, just like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.